getting a haircut soon. What's up? What's up? What's up? We're just waiting for my... What up? Hell yeah. You will go far in life, my friend. What's up? What's up? All right. Yeah.
Good.
How's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I feel well. I feel well.
Good to hear.
Where are you located?
Like 20 minutes south of Boston.
20 minutes. Okay, so you're in
Yeah.
Boston, kind of.
Yeah. On
Dope.
the outskirts.
Dope, bro. Valley was going to join us, but he's got a hair appointment, so we're just gonna hop into it.
Sure.
So obviously, like, this is like free flowing format, but we're obviously here to talk about bodybuilding,
Hmm.
and I want to hear a bit more about your story. I just watched the Natty News Daily conversation that you were part of, but I didn't really. There's still more stuff that I wanted to hear. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Briefly, we talked, and like you've identified yourself as a bit of an introvert.
Very.
So first, I'd like to hear about like what's life like for you. Like, what's a typical day in the life of Zach?
Oh, it's super boring. I work 6 to 2 most days doing electrical work.
Okay.
Come home, go to the gym, come home, read, talk to people.
Okay. Okay.
Well, now I talk to people on IG, but I don't do much. I don't get out much.
Okay, that's fair. Do you have friends and family?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They live about an hour and a half away from me.
Okay. Valley, are you gonna mute yourself? Um. Okay, so you do you think that you do have friends and
Yeah.
family?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Cool. 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 All right. Hopping into it. What is your level of bodybuilding knowledge? Because I know that you haven't competed yet.
It's less than it should be. This was like the first thing that I said to Alberto when I was applying to be coached by him. I've coasted on my genetics for the bulk of my training history.
Mm-hmm.
So most of what I got is from 3D MJ's vaults. They
Okay.
they have some of the best content available for learning. Otherwise, it's just been like strength theory from Greg Knuckles. He's put out some great content through, like, I have a mass subscription. They have some really high end stuff, but
Okay.
just picking it up as I go. I never really wanted to even like get into coaching, so I never put much effort towards learning more deeply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you said that you've been bodybuilding for how long?
13 years, excuse me.
13 years. Okay, 13 years. Not too much. You would say like you wouldn't call yourself a student of the sport.
Probably not. No.
Okay. 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 But you are competing in your first year upcoming. What's the long game if you had to describe like what you would like for your bodybuilding career to look like?
I don't even like thinking long game. Honestly, I'm just worried about. I was talking to the diabetes group chat about this, like navigating this stuff, and it was social media so far hasn't been a ladder where it's just here's one wrong, here's another wrong, and you have a clearly defined goal. It's more like climbing up a mountain where you're like assessing where you are currently. You have a vague idea of where you want to go, but there's a bunch of different ways to get there. It's just about seeing where you're at now and the easiest available path to take to get there and just moving in a general direction. But no, I'm taking it week by week, basically.
Okay.
I don't. It's wherever it takes me. I'm just going with the flow.
I like that. I like that. Do you have any interest outside of bodybuilding?
Love fantasy books. Big into fantasy
Okay.
books.
Okay. Favorite fantasy book?
Right. My favorite series is probably Malazan, Book of the Fallen. It's like a 23 plus book series that's still being written. It's incredible.
Oh, I will have to check that out. I love
It's a lot.
fantasy. Uh, okay. What about sci-fi? Do you fuck with sci-fi?
I haven't gotten into it yet, but like I want to get into Discworld. Have you heard of Discworld? Is
Terry
that a
Pratchett?
good one?
Yes. I've heard. I haven't read it. My
Yeah.
brother does.
but everybody that's read it is obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So I've got to get it in Discworld.
Okay. Okay. What about superheroes or video games?
Video games, I love the From Software games like Elden Ring, Dark Souls. That's all I've played for the past maybe 6, 7 years was the From Soft games.
Okay. Okay. And comic books?
No, I haven't gotten into them, but I want to get into like mangas and anime soon. But I know
Okay,
it's
but
just
not
gonna,
yet.
I'm gonna get obsessed with it. I know it.
Okay, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This is all background for me, so like I know how to
Yeah.
continue conversing. That's all I'm doing. What about role models in general, across the board, fictional or real? Like, who of the people that have like influenced you to like go out and be great?
A long-term role model was definitely Alberto. So it was sick because when you apply to 3DMJ, you don't get to pick who you end up with. And I was hoping that I would get Alberto, and I did. It was just that's been such a huge motivating factor for me, having somebody that I've aspired to be like, to emulate, and how he behaves, how he holds himself, and having him like knowing that he's watching is a lot. So that's been huge for me for the past year that I've been working with him.
So you have a real life role model, like in person that you can actually
Yeah,
interact with.
yeah,
That's actually really cool.
yeah. They say
Uh,
don't meet your heroes, but for Alberto, it was definitely worth meeting.
that's fucking dope, man.
It's sick.
And before we communicated, like we've only been in contact for like a couple days now.
Yeah,
How did you first learn about me and Valley, and what do you know about us?
dude, I saw the post from Natty News Daily, and I looked at your page, and I was like, this is a storm of positive energy for natural bodybuilding, and I
That's
was hooked.
that's fucking awesome. Okay, cool. If you had to interpret or put into words like your understanding as to what we're doing, would you be able to make an effort at that? And
It feels
and
like you're
listen,
trying to hold, like
yeah,
you're,
like if you know nothing, you could
yeah.
say yeah,
No, no. The vibes I get is that you want to hold the standard to where it ought to be, because I feel like natural bodybuilding doesn't really get nearly the recognition that it deserves, and I can tell that you have a passion for it, and you want to spread that passion.
yeah, definitely. I would say that you're right on the money with that. Um, Going into a bit further detail, I've always felt that when it like I'm a bit of a I like philosophy, right?
Sure.
One of my favorite philosophers is Aristotle, and he always preached how each individual needs to find their telos, which is basically the thing that they were meant to do, the thing that they came
Hmm.
into this world being the best for.
Yeah.
And then once you discover that telos, that's when your life flourishes and the environment around you flourishes as a result of you discovering your main purpose. Um, the reason I reached out to you, and the same reason why I reached out to Valley, is because I am obviously looking to connect and
Hmm.
network with individuals who are identified as finding their purpose in life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, like, my whole goal is not to put words in your mouth.
Sure.
So I do want to get on the same page with you as to you obviously have a knack for natural
Hmm.
bodybuilding. You know, you said that you've been doing it for 13
Yeah.
years, and the progress that you've made, in contrast to another person who's been bodybuilding for the
Hmm.
same amount of time, is drastic. You know, like the
Yeah.
amount of size that you're able to put on. It's going to be interesting when you go through a cut. Have you ever done a full cut yet?
Not to the extent that I had planned to. No, I was probably never below like 10% before. I spent the majority of that 13 years in just a mild surplus. I never really did an extended cut, so this is new to me.
Okay, okay, okay. How do you feel about the concept of actually being a role model or a figurehead for the diabetic community?
It's a lot of pressure because they deserve somebody that is worth aspiring to, and so it kind of just happened. People started to resonate with what I was saying. There's a ton of people that are into lifting that are type 1 diabetic, and it was awesome to get the response that I did. Like the reels that I was posting, um, the strategy for that was like getting the people that I don't care to interact with angry, and then they would get all riled up, get the algorithm going, and then it pushed my content to type 1 diabetics because I would include the hashtags for type 1 stuff. And so I've built up like this incredible group chat for type 1s. There's almost 200 people in there. It's like it's chaos. It's like pure stream of consciousness. There's no organization, but it's everybody's so supportive, and it's unique to have a space where everybody knows what you're going through because type 1s are rare, and so it's tough to have an outlet for that sort of thing. And having these people, like I get these messages, and it's like I feel undeserving almost of people that are like, you've inspired, you've motivated me, whatever. And it's like I have to do more. I have to try harder to try and live up to these expectations now. So it's great.
Well, my interpretation of what you're saying is that you don't shy away from it, which is
Yeah,
fantastic. And you also see it, you take it on with a sense of responsibility and
it's
duty.
not a light thing, dude.
Right.
You
No,
know, having that situation, it's a lot.
yeah, but you're taking it on willingly,
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah. How do you feel about because like you've been in the game now, when you get accused of being a fake natty, like what's your how does that make you feel?
it's a net benefit to me because it just gives my post more tractions, really. So it's
Good. Yeah.
I've heard steroid accusations for even before I started lifting. So it's I hear it all the time. I'm pretty desensitized to it.
How do you feel about the fact that you look like you take steroids and a person who takes steroids might not?
It is what it is. You know, I'm not worried about what anybody else is doing. I'm just worried about what I'm doing.
Fair. I like it. Let's talk about areas for improvement. As a bodybuilder and as a figurehead that people look up to, they see you as a role model. In what ways could you see yourself improving in those aspects of your career?
The biggest thing that I'm working on is just having knowledge of type 1 so that because there's a, what is it, an area of expertise where you don't want somebody giving advice that's outside of their purview. Like personal trainers can't necessarily give specific nutritional advice. I don't want to be, I'm not going to advise type 1s on how to treat because that's like an endocrinologist's job, but I want to be able to disseminate the correct information. So I've been working with my buddy Tristan Rogers. He's a med student who has type 1 diabetes, and so he's been sort of coaching me on how to learn more about type 1. And at the ADA camps, there's nursing staff, and they all have type 1 diabetes. And I've been picking their brains for, how I can be better as an advocate for type 1.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. So basically, more knowledge.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and you want to be able to speak, like you don't want to provide misinformation.
Exactly. Yeah, because there's so much of it that I've really,
Okay.
having those posts go viral has made me realize there's a lot of work that can be done. So it would be fruitful to pursue that.
Okay. And what about bodybuilding wise? What areas could you see yourself needing improvement?
Posing.
It's hard to say since you haven't stepped on stage yet,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
just shot in the dark.
Yeah, definitely posing because I've never been in a situation where I've been able to compare myself to somebody else, and so I don't even know what to expect going into it. So I've put zero pressure on myself for my first year. I'm just going to treat it as a learning experience and then just improve from there. But yeah, for specific things, posing, got to improve on for sure.
And Alberto, your coach, is helping you with the posing, right?
Not as of yet because we're not even in prep yet.
Okay. When does prep start?
Probably soon because the first show is going to be in August, but I'm not going to be in peak condition for that. We'll probably be saving it for late summer, autumn.
Okay. Do you know what federation you're competing in?
What anything that's going to be convenient, location and time wise. But I'm definitely looking at WNBF, OCB, AMBF, the top three for sure.
Beautiful. Okay. Great segue. Do you know about the Natty King Tournament, currently tentative title that Valley and I have been kind of floating around on social
I
media.
saw it, dude. I'm very interested in what you got going on with that.
Okay, dope. I'm happy to hear that. What's your level of knowledge on WWE?
I was into it heavy
Okay.
as a kid during like the peak of John Cena for sure. I was gonna
Okay.
ask you about the heel versus the face thing.
Yeah, what's up? Talk to me.
Right, right now, I don't feel like more of a heel going by my comment section, but then for the people that I care about, it it's been nothing but love. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, do you know Greg Doucette?
yeah, yes, I actually reached out to him to get advice on a blood draw, like what test do I even get that would give any sort of credence to a natural claim? And so he gave me like a full panel that I could do, and we're waiting
Fantastic.
the results now. So I don't know if he believes me or not, and what this test even says conclusively, but I'm excited to see his response for it.
Yeah, no, Greg's great. And you aware that he has given a verbal commitment to be the head judge for this tentative tournament?
Oh no, I didn't see that part. That's sick.
Yeah. So he gave a verbal commitment
Yep.
where if we can materialize it, which I'm obviously hell bent on making it
Hmm.
happen, then he would sign on as the celebrity judge.
Sweet.
And uh, dissimilar to how most competitions are judged, I would want to actually put the camera on at least Greg Doucette, if not the entire judging panel, so
Yep.
that we can get a better perspective as to how these decisions are being made across the board. You
Yeah.
know, from my perspective, I want a minimum of 15 natural bodybuilders on
Hmm.
stage competing for. Right now, I'm calling it the King of Naturals
Sure.
to crown the first ever Natty King. So it's a minimum of 15 athletes. And when the judges are making the decision as to who should be crowned the Natty King, I want to understand why. And I want the
Good.
audience to have access to how that decision was made. Um,
You
so
saying that, I'm like, why is that not the norm in the first place?
listen, bro, I'm just getting into this sport
Yeah.
similar to you. Like my first year was last year.
Yep.
Okay. My background is filmmaking and writing and
Sure.
theater and shit like
Yep.
that. So I'm coming from the perspective of like I'm looking to tell a really profound and
Yeah. Telling
impactful
a story.
story. Yes,
Yep.
within the fitness industry, and I'm
Okay.
using
Using it as a medium. I like it.
correct,
That's dope.
correct. Yes, and it's supposed to have a beautiful transition into Hollywood. A
Yeah.
beautiful transition.
Yeah.
With that being said, the main reason why I reached out to you is because there's a certain criteria that I'm looking to cast
Sure.
for these natural bodybuilder stars. The number one criteria is that they have to have a great physique.
Mm.
You've got a great physique.
Thank you.
And the second criteria is that they have to basically have like a unique aspect to their character,
Sure.
like something that sets them apart from just any other great physique. So I don't know. Like I feel like you kind of check those two boxes. For one, your physique is great, but it's also like it's different from other people's great physiques.
Sure.
You know, it's like you could like you can stand up 10 great physiques and they could all look very similar.
Right.
And then when we focus in on you, like you, I don't know. Oh, you're not in the manga yet, but when I first saw your physique, I thought of this manga character that's quite popular in the Baki
Aki.
verse. Yes,
Dude, I
yeah, Pickle.
get that in the comments all the
Of course.
time. Because at first I was like, what is a pickle build? What the hell does that mean?
No,
But
Pickle's dope, bro.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, Pickle's fucking dope,
Yeah.
and kudos to you for getting the comparison because
Mhm.
especially that first photo, that first like thumbnail photo
Yeah.
on your Instagram page, like yeah, that's fucking that's Pickle all day, bro.
Yeah, right? As soon
Yeah,
as I
man.
Googled like pickle build, I was like, I see.
Yeah, yeah. So, keeping that in mind, I personally see you as like a perfect individual to like join this cast or this roster,
Sure.
just because of your physique and your why is very strong. You're doing this to show like what can be done even with your what do you call it, a diagnosis or
Condition.
uh, condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you'd be representing a niche demographic,
Hmm.
and you're fighting for them
For sure.
as you take on all these other comers and
Yeah,
shit
I
like
wouldn't
that, right?
be doing it if I didn't get diagnosed. So that's my whole reason.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and I love that. And something that Valley would say if he were able to speak is that what we're really looking for is a person with a strong why, a
sure.
strong and unique why. So, like I said, to me, you check all the boxes.
Thank you.
So I would love to actually offer you an opportunity to be a part of it and to have you on the roster.
I'm very down, 100%.
Dope. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, with that being said, I do want to get this is kind of brainstorming.
Sure.
So I already said I want 15 minimum natural bodybuilding stars, very similar to myself, very similar to you, very similar to Valley, where we've got unique physiques and we've got unique backstories, personas, yada, 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 very
Hmm.
similar to like WWE superstars. Keeping that in mind, I was thinking, and like I would just love to hear your thoughts on it, is we build out those 15 natural bodybuilding superstars, and then we have another 15 that are specifically like top of the food chain. They've won world
Hmm.
champions at WNBF, INBA,
Yeah.
OCB, like, and then we invite a whole other 15 who are just like, their
Right.
resumes are fucking deep, right? And then now we would have a total of 30, and whoever gets crowned the Natty King, whether it's be like the 15 superstars or the
Hmm.
15 like, like we actually have resumes.
Right.
And yeah, what do you think of that?
That would be sick because it would make it so that it's like these guys have some history behind them. These are top dogs, so that would be a very cool way to end the story in a way.
Yeah, yeah, because well, I mean, some information for you that I don't know if you've been exposed to yet, but my understanding after like being exposed to natural bodybuilding for like the past 2 or 3 years
Hmm.
is that you really reach your peak as a natural bodybuilder in your 40s.
Yeah, that's how it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
that matured look
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it gives you like more time for like muscle maturity, density, and things of that nature. So, I mean, obviously, I would invite some 40-year-olds for like the 15 roster,
Right.
but I really want to make the opportunity for like the people who deserve it to win.
Hmm.
And from my perspective, me selecting the first 15, I want to be able to tell a very compelling story. And then selecting the second 15, it's like, okay, it's like who's been doing this shit,
Yeah.
and yeah, seemed like we kind of like merged the two, like the best of both worlds, great storytelling, and we actually have
Yeah.
the
SmackDown
highest.
versus Raw. Yeah.
Yeah, well, dude, okay, we're on the same page.
All right.
So there would
Sweet.
be like a bit of like a versus aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Exactly.
yes,
That's the.
like from my perspective, it's like the first rosters they would probably get the most screen time, obviously.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And then the second B team, like they're fucking athletes, like they're bringing their shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Well, awesome that you're down. Okay, so we're wrapping up now. I just wanted to get a verbal commitment.
Sure.
But the one thing that I wanted to hammer down is since you've already expressed like you're down, I do want you to move forward as the understanding that like everyone who's a part of it, they're technically already the Natty King. And
Mm.
it is not until the crown actually goes on a person's head where like we actually have an identified, okay, this is the individual who won the competition. But anyone who's a part of the competition is in the running to be
Right.
crowned the Natty King. So from here until the competition, which is supposed to be, I'm eyeing 2028-ish. Like
Okay.
this is part of your narrative now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like obviously you've got shows lined up this year, and you'll most likely be competing into 2026 and 27. But I want you to keep in the back of your head, and we'll obviously be able to collaborate
Mhm.
further from this point.
Sure.
But now this is part of like we're aiming to sell this finish, and that's what I love most about WWE is that they use this thing called kayfabe,
Mm.
which is like layering reality. And what that means is you have to sell the finish.
Yeah.
So that's what this is all about, like selling a really great ending. And whoever gets crowned the Natty King, what matters is that all of these competitors had a strong why, they had a strong prep, they had,
Yeah.
competition in their belly, and
Yeah.
now we know who the greatest natural bodybuilder is.
Yeah. I like it.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. I think that's all I got for right now. I can like go very far into the future. Um, Let me ask you this:
Mhm.
anything has your condition hindered you in any way?
It's been a net positive on my life for sure,
Okay.
but it definitely makes it more difficult to maintain a deficit because if you have an unforeseen hypoglycemic event where your blood sugar is going low, then you have to compensate with more carbohydrates, and so you can hypo your way out of your caloric deficit, which is a pain in the butt. But you just got to even it out on the back end.
I'm really curious as to how your cut's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, the fact that you speak on it being a net positive, I love that, and I also love
Mhm.
the quote that you made on Natty News Daily about what did you say? It's like it's the difference between manual and automatic, so far as like
Yeah,
drive.
that's the easiest way to get it
Yeah, yeah.
for
So
sure.
yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'm happy. Do you have any questions?
No, um, I would like to give a shout out to some people that have been helping me out on the social media side. Do you follow subpar lifted memes?
No, but should I?
Yes, he's like a real person, which is rare to find on social media. And he was like, right when we started talking, he was willing to give me like 2 3 minute long voice messages of how to try to build an audience. And he's going to get into coaching with that. And he has like almost a quarter of a million, like over a quarter of a million followers, I think. And he's like giving his time away
Yeah,
to help people out. Great
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah. That is amazing. Okay. You said a couple of shout outs.
Oh yeah, the buff blonde Natalie Suarez. She was a big help in like the mental side of social media, staying grounded, remembering why you're doing it. Um, yeah, and then it's been weird because this is so new to me, and so and being introverted. It's just a strange transition to suddenly have a bunch of people who know who I am, and it's like it's only just started, so it's strange.
What's your comfort level? Like, let's say hypothetical. This Natty King. I'm gonna start calling it King of Naturals because I
Yeah,
just think that sounds better.
it does
So let's
sound
say,
better.
yeah, thank you, thank you. So let's say King of Naturals comes into fruition 2008ish, right?
Hmm.
You show up, and let's say you're the one who wins. Greg Doucette has chosen you along with his list of panel of judges,
Yeah.
and you are now the first ever Natty King. How do you feel about that level of exposure?
I could get so many people incredibly aware of type 1 diabetes. So that would be great.
Okay. All right. So you're not shy from like the prospect of like overwhelming success.
No, because whatever benefits me, it's just going to be channeled into type 1 awareness. I'm just the conduit for it, I suppose.
Okay. Okay. That's definitely what I want to hear. Um, Speaking from one introvert to another, it's weird that all of my interactions, like my most successful interactions, and when I say most, I mean my only successful interactions are when there's a purpose or an intention behind the interaction. So
Yeah,
like
you're not speaking for the sake of speaking like like an extrovert would. Like, there's a reason for doing it. Yes.
yeah, and honestly, I wish that Valley was available to comment because I've always wondered like, what is it like to just talk to a person?
Is he the big extrovert?
Yeah, yeah, huge extrovert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like yesterday, I was invited to this birthday party at a wine bar, and I
Hmm.
got there, and like everyone was like sitting in tables and chairs and shit like that, and
Yeah.
there was no chair to pull up to the tables, so like I was sitting at like
Yeah.
a separate table,
That's tough.
and I got yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough.
So I got a glass of wine, drank it, I practically chugged it, and then got the fuck out of there.
I don't blame you.
Cause like,
What are you
what am I supposed to?
gonna do? Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you take me to like the fitness expo and you
Yeah.
got thousands of like, fitness enthusiasts and like
Yep.
influencers and fucking shit like that. I know exactly who to talk to, what to
Yeah.
say, because there's like, there's a
There's
motivation. There's like,
shit to do.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
driving towards something.
Hmm.
So I definitely relate to you on that. And when it comes to the development of your persona,
Sure.
so far as how we like promote you in conjunction with the King of Naturals tournament, I'm looking forward to working with you closely on that because, like you said, your priority is being able to inform
Hmm.
and provide knowledge as to what your condition entails. And my priority is obviously telling a really great story, and
Sure.
you're part of that story. In fact, you are essentially your own perspective on
Hmm.
that story. So, like, my whole thing is like perfecting that perspective, and we'll be able to work closely together
Cool.
on that.
Sweet.
Cool, cool. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Changing the world,
Yeah.
making by changing the fitness industry, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Giving it a purpose, dude. I love it.
Yes. Cool, man. All right. Well, we will definitely keep in touch over the years. I'm definitely looking to travel and actually start meeting face to face. You're actually the fourth person to get this invitation. So this is like
Oh,
part of the history
yeah.
that we're making. Right now, it's myself, Valley
Yeah.
Muscle, Josh Manoe. Are you familiar with Josh?
Yeah. I saw clips of him on your page. Yeah.
Yes. So it's us three and then you.
Sick.
So we're looking. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get it. I want Shizzy to be our fifth. You know Shizzy?
Yeah. 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 He's with Gorilla Mind too.
JB, you're totally in my brain, bro. You're totally you're totally in my brain. I already got a whole storyline for you,
Oh,
JB, just for the record.
I didn't even realize there were people commenting,
Okay.
bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a storyline for you, JB. We're gonna talk. Yeah, we're on the same page, bro. Um, but yeah, I want Shizzy, and obviously it's gonna be fun just building it out. If you, in your journeys, come across a person with a great physique and
Sure.
a great story, feel free to send them my way. But right now I'm just focused on building out the first 15,
Hmm.
and then moving on from there.
Cool. That's a good way to start, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. JB, we're on the same page. Sean Taffy is Shizzy, so everyone, we're all thinking the same thing. So good shit.
Nice.
Cool. That's it.
Dude, thank you so much for having me on and even considering, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Zach. I'm looking forward to working with you, bro.
For sure. Same here.
All right, I wish you a great day and a great
Yeah,
weekend.
you too, brother. See you around.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
Yep.
Peace.
Later.